the thing say, is it fixed? The title on Twitch.
Hello, Yield.
Hi.
Not a Monty Python fan?
No, I just got done doing a Patreon series, and I don't want to do another one.
Oh, it's just one episode. Yeah. What's his face? Rick donated $25 to my extra.
Oh, which Mighty Python?
Oh, really?
Okay.
That's
That's a good one. Well, that's a way to make sure that you actually did it.
Tricky, did you also adjust the ads to only run at the beginning? It kills our viewership when people realize that they have to subscribe to the ads. Just do it when they come in, when they first come in. Yep, let's pre-roll ads.
They actually get to watch the stream at all. They get hit with it.
Okay, good. Then take the other one, the mid-roll, and put it towards the end.
ding dong. You want to do the Muddy Python, Matt?
Sure.
Rick did request you. I said you'd be a good buffer because he doesn't do shit on it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you won't like it.
Is it because this is
You won't get
comedy?
you won't get the humor.
Is it like Family Guy comedy?
No, because this is long before Family Guy.
This is British comedy.
British comedy or something?
No, it's British comedy. They're all British.
Everybody see a message from Alex?
Yeah.
We're here waiting for you. Alright. You weren't supposed to hear us talking, Rick. I can't use the concept, Rick.
Oh, because that's not a bot. Welcome to the community. Oh, lonely e-girl. I don't do anything until I know. But yeah, that is most certainly a bot.
Maybe it's just a lonely eater. They do exist. Not eliminate, reduce.
You are listening to Trophy Horse with your hosts, Tricky Nick, Alex, I Yield to No One, Sid, and Ender Phoenix.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Trophy Wars. This is episode 617. I'm your host, Ricky Mick. Alongside with me, the man, the myth, the legend. It's Alex.
You know, I don't know why people are so hard on Sony for their updates, firmware updates for the PlayStation, because Microsoft is update crazy for everything, and it never makes any difference. It's still crappy.
He brings the awesome. It's I Yield to No One.
It's Microsoft in their link process.
You know, I was going to make some kind of comment, but I was like, I didn't want to steal your thunder. Because I knew you
Someone's not playing Sea of Thieves, and his name is Yield.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me back my money, Sony.
Should you be getting your money back from Microsoft? Essentially?
Well, no, I ordered it through PlayStation, so they're the ones that's going to give me my money back.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well,
I've heard nightmares.
I'm anticipating nightmares, but still, I can't play the game, so give me back my freaking money.
Have you been actually able to get into the game, Yield, like the menus or anything? Then it shouldn't be. This should be an issue because you could say, "Yeah, I couldn't link this. I had trouble linking it, so I just want a refund."
Because the beta's going on this weekend, and to play the beta, you had to pre-order the game. Okay, no big deal. I'm gonna play the game anyway, so pre-order it. Let me play the beta. And as soon as you start up, it's like, hey, you got to link your account. Follow this process. Okay, you hit X, and then you got to start the process, and I can't link up, so I want my freaking money back.
He's a man that doesn't care about trophies at all. It's Matt. How you doing, sir?
I don't care about much right now. I'm very tired.
You look it. You look like you're about
I
to go to
worked
sleep.
yesterday, far into the day. Then today went up to help my brother. Yesterday they power washed my mom's deck, and then today we put the new stain/waterproofer on, and that took an effort.
Well, you should have brought Yield along. He's a power wash simulator. What up? Psh, nobody?
No, that was.
We're all tired. We all got shit going on.
I just woke up maybe an hour ago, so I'm good.
Oh, must be nice.
Listen, I had a hard work week. I actually had to do work.
Any work week that you do work is a hard work week.
Yeah. All right. So, Yield, I'm going to give you the floor a second because Rick's in the chat and he wants to know, do you have a Microsoft account, Yield? So I'm going to let you go through your Microsoft story and explain it.
Long story short, not really a short story, but I tried to create an account separate from what I already had for Skype because they made it sound like, you have to link this with your Microsoft account and you can't change it. Once it's linked, it's linked. And I kind of was like, oh, I better not link it with Skype. Maybe I should create one. I can't create one because I can't use my username and I don't want to use a different username. So finally, after fiddling for an hour on Friday, I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to use Skype because I'm not going to mess with Microsoft any other way. So I changed emails around because Skype was associated with an email we really don't use. So I went and did that. Go to log in, you got to scan a QR code. QR code asks for the code that they give you on the screen. So I type in the code on the screen, go to next. They want you to sign in with your email, a phone number, an ID, or your Skype name. So I type in my Skype name, enter. Password. Okay, Skype password, enter. Now they want an email as an alias that I need to use. Tried the email associated with the account. Nope, it's already in the Microsoft account. I used the backup email. Nope, that's already a Microsoft account. I used the email that we're going to eventually delete, but that was originally associated with the Skype account. Nope, that's a private domain, can't use it. I'm done running around, jumping through hoops. I just want my money back. It should not be this hard to link accounts.
You know what just dawned on me, which is I find kind of funny right now.
What?
The email that was originally associated. I don't want to out it because people could put two and two together. But
It's a Microsoft account.
It's a Microsoft owned email.
Yeah, it is.
But they say it's a private domain.
That's what it said.
That just occurred to me.
Yeah. That was the straw that broke my back. I'm like, that's your freaking company. All right.
Oh my God, that's funny. That just dawned on me. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to laugh at you, Yield, but that.
No. It outside looking in, this is absolutely hilarious. But no, I was really looking forward to playing this game. Now just give me back my money, and I'm not touching another Microsoft game that comes to the PlayStation Store. I don't care how good it is. I don't care how easy it is to play. I'm done.
Okay, I know you're done, but let me throw one suggestion out there that may help you. I have no idea. I have no idea if this is going to work.
Okay.
Go to your computer and log into your Microsoft account on the computer. And
I'm logged into Skype right now.
No. I'm saying go to I was gonna say Hotmail, or go to just log in to a Microsoft account. Try to log in to Xbox.com with it. If you have no problem logging in, then it's a Sony problem.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You're saying.
Because if you can log in straight into a Microsoft website, then it's not a Microsoft problem. It's something associating Microsoft with Sony. And it also could be, and I'm just throwing this out there, it could be because it's in beta, and that's why you're having the problem.
I don't know. The Brain got in. Him and his boy were playing this weekend.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out suggestions.
Either.
I have no idea. I'm just throwing out suggestions here. Rick put Xbox.com in the chat.
That's where I'm at right now, and it says I'm signed in.
That's weird.
Because I'm signed in with Skype.
You don't have Skype downloaded on your computer?
Yeah, that's what you think's running.
Okay, we could troubleshoot this off the show, but I'm all right. We'll do this another time. Alex, you good sir? You having any problems logging into your games?
You mean like Microsoft games?
I was just trying to segue into any games, but
no, I am playing on my PlayStation just fine.
All right. Let's move on then. Let's do our updated trophy counts. I am level 904, total trophies of 30,254 with 837 platinums. I should have 338. God bless it. But it is what it is. Alex, your trophy, sir.
You only should have what you earned, Tricky.
I earned it. It's glitching.
Wait, you mean, Suicide Squad still giving you fits. Level 502, total trophy count of 9,764, and a platinum count of 169 and 168 games. I still have not earned another trophy since the Helldivers 2 Platinum.
And Rick, I'm just going to give you a big twerp you. I'm not going to say why, but I'm giving you a twerp you because you know how offensive what you just said in the chat is.
Rick, were you talking about spiders?
No. Yield your trophy.
Should I have brought up spiders there?
You're always going to bring up spiders because you're just a prick. You just like
why am I a prick?
Because you like terrorizing me.
I don't show pictures of spiders. Do you?
Uh-huh.
I do. That's me.
You used to. You don't do it anymore.
Level 508 with a trophy count of 10089 and a platinum count of 186.
Matt?
Level 220, 1,310 trophies, and 0 platinums.
And Sid is level 889, total trophies of 26,912 with 841 platinums. I'm just going to let Sid get the lead for now because I'm focusing on too many games right now to keep going back and doing 5 spam games just to keep pace with him. Rick wants to know, Matt, you've been playing Uncharted. You haven't played Uncharted in a couple weeks now, right, Matt?
Correct, yeah. Because Channel 3 was doing their book club, and they were using Uncharted as this month's game. And I originally tried getting into it, and then, other games came out and I wanted to play other things. So I will not be part of the Channel 3 book club this month.
All right. Let's get into what we're playing. We'll start off easy. Alex, who's on his phone. Rude.
No, I'm not being rude. I'm just going through emails. Not on my computer, though, so you can't hear the tip-tap, tip-tap. So, yeah, all I've been playing is I played some Rocket League with Nitro and Riley on Thursday. Good to get together with them. And then I play some Helldivers here and there, although I'm very angry at Helldivers and the Game Master. I'm fucking pissed. Should probably tell why. We defeated the bots. I'm sure if you listen to last week's episode, I was real happy. Go, rah, team. We've defeated the bots. And like 2 days later, the Game Master puts them back in. A big, massive offensive and a major order that we lose, probably because people are sick of fighting the bots. And now the bots are back on the map. And I equate it to my save file being deleted on the game, where it feels like everything I did was for fucking nothing. And one of the things that's going to piss me off about any game is if you don't respect my time. And I feel like the Game Master, I'm not going to say his name, putting them back in the game is disrespectful to my time and what we accomplished in Helldivers. I'm not saying you can ever bring the boss back, but to do it so quickly, like, what the hell are you doing, man? Piss me off. So I'm refusing all major orders right now. I'm not doing them. I'm just going to go fight the bugs.
Hold on a second. I got a question. There's an actual one man who's the Game Master?
That we know of, yes, confirmed. And he can change, different aspects, like how much, regen, health the planets have, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like, I'm assuming that the team has I don't know, maybe more than one person's decision, and he's just responsible for implementing it or watching over everything. But the fact that Arrowhead or the Game Master or anyone just threw the bots back in there makes me feel like all our work up to that point was for nothing.
I do think it was a little too quick.
I'm pissed. Like I said, I'm not doing any orders.
Some comments from the chat. Rick says Alex is always on his own. I bet we just don't normally see. And then he says, "Wait, so Helldivers is like D&D?" And then he says, "Fuck GMs." I think
it's like D&D essentially, or Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Yield, what have you been playing or been trying to play?
So let's see here. I have been playing some Rocket League. I played the Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown demo.
What'd you think?
Been playing some. It's all right. Could be a game that I pick up on the cheap because I don't love it to run out and buy it right now, but it seemed okay. Been playing some Helldivers too, some World of Warship Legends. Fired up Sackboy: A Big Adventure. I've been playing some Borderlands, the pre-sequel, which was Platinum #1. And I've been playing some Lego 2K Drive, which was Platinum #2 within the last 2 weeks. Actually, I got them last week, or actually 2 weeks ago when you were hearing this. And I've been attempting to play the Sea of Thieves closed beta, but that's not working. And that's the last I will play Sea of Thieves.
Rick says, "Man, you guys should all turn off your cameras off. You all look grumpy as fuck."
I just haven't had my ice cream yet.
Oh, what kind of ice cream you gonna have?
What kind of ice cream?
It's a Friendly's version of a ice cream sandwich where instead of chocolate, it's chocolate chip cookies on both ends.
No whale-shaped cakes, though, huh?
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Fuck Fudgy the Whale.
You guys have an unnatural hatred for Fudgy the Whale.
It's the stupidest cake shape.
What do you care what it's shaped like? It still tastes good, and it's an icon.
Because it's awkward, and you're trying to make it for everybody. And you, Rick, go
Google Fudgy the Whale.
Fudgy the Whale. You make a cake in the shape of a whale, and it doesn't. You don't get even slices. It's awkward trying to hand out weird shaped slices to people. Fuck Fudgy the Whale.
Yield, have you Googled Fudgy the Whale?
I saw whatever picture that you posted in the group, and I have to agree with everybody.
No, I posted it because I was like, after the episode came out, because I led the episode with the Fudgy the Whale conversation, or part of it, And I was like, you know what? I'm going to see what this thing looks like. And I opened Google up to that Chocolate Terror, and I was like, what the hell is that? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't hate it, but I understand Matt's point. If you're trying to cut even cake slices, it's a really goofy, weird fucking shape that someone is going to get fucked on. You know, someone's going to get some shitty piece, and they're like, what the fuck, man? Come on. Claude gets this big piece, and I got to deal with this Tic Tac size piece of cake.
Here's the whale anus for you. You get the anus of the whale.
Nitro in the chat says, I don't know honestly, but it sounds overrated. And then Rick says, who wants the whale's asshole?
Well, according to Tricky Rick, it's all part of the Northeastern culture. The whale's asshole is an important part of Northeastern culture.
I just said Fudgy the Whale is a Northeastern icon. I mean...
Yeah, including his anus. Fudgy's anus is a Northeastern icon.
You're the only one to talk about an anus. That's all I'm saying.
What are you talking about? I was not the one to bring the anus into the conversation.
Yeah, you're right. I apologize.
About time.
It actually says, mostly hate it because I know it will annoy Tricky. Listen, I don't care if you guys don't like the cake, but I'm saying don't sleep on Fudgy the Whale because he's an icon. That's all I'm saying.
I can't get Carvel down here, so honestly, I never have to deal with it.
Rick says, I can see Tricky eating the whale's asshole on a pizza. We're moving on. Matt, what have you been playing?
What haven't I been playing? Helldivers 2, because the newest War Bond came out, and I know later we're going to be talking about the newest ship stratagems that came out. I've also gotten back and finished another couple missions in Armored Core 6 for my second playthrough. Also played some Warhammer Vermintide 2 with some friends, because that's always a fun game to get in with. Obviously not screw over your teammates. You can easily shoot them in the back, just like Helldivers. What else was I don't know if y'all
noticed this while playing Helldivers, but friendly fire is the same on both sides because the bugs and automatons can kill each other as well.
Yep, I've seen Chargers mow down plenty of its brethren.
Yeah, I've seen Bile Titans with their acid, spew that they do take out little bugs as well.
Yep. Also playing Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster, which is an awesome mostly a remake of Dark Forces. And then thanks to the Fallout TV show, I got a hankering to go back and started playing Fallout 76 with some friends. So it's been a fun time, just getting back in, playing the game, collecting, exploring. And it's in a much better place than when it initially launched. It actually feels like the late stage Fallout games that have come out. That's really all that I've been doing this week.
All right. Before we move on, I had to step away for a second, so I don't know if you answered this. Matt, Rick wants to know, is Vermintide a strategy game?
No, it's a up to 4-person co-op horde game. So trying to think of the best way to describe this. Like I said, it's first person. You choose one of like 5 or 6 classes, and you have to go through some heavy story-based missions and complete your objectives. But all the while, you're getting swarmed by these things called the Skaven, which are just like human-sized rats. And there's specials that come out at you and bosses, and it's a lot of fun. It's an older game. And by older meaning probably about 10 years now, and they just put out a brand new update for it for free. So it's fun. No, you're not a Space Marine. So Rick asked the question, you're a Space Marine. So this is a Warhammer universe game. This is the original medieval Warhammer. This is not Warhammer 40K, which is the Dark Tide game that's out there, and it's set around Space Marines and Emperors and Dark Voids and all that stuff.
And I've only been playing Division 2, trying to play some Suicide Squad. I played some Horizon, which leads me to my question to you guys. All of us have played Horizon, correct?
Yep.
Both of them. Yep.
Does it annoy you when you go into a room and Aloy tells you the solution to the problem before you even had a chance to look around?
I do remember that people said that one of the gripes was that people said that the kitty. Matt, what's your kitty's name again?
This is Narga Kuga.
What a strong name.
Murder kitty.
So I'm gonna. Sorry, Alex. I'm gonna interrupt your story real quick. We recently had Zelda at the vet, and after we were done, the vet tech goes, "Hey, got a question for you. Totally unrelated, but your cat, is it all black?" Yep. He goes, "Then it's after Monster Hunter, isn't it?" I go, "Absolutely." So somebody out there recognized Nargacuga's name.
I just want you to know, Matt, that if I played Monster Hunter, that I would also recognize it. But now that you told me, or told us, I will always recognize it. But no, I remember that was a gripe from people, is that Aloy gave up the secrets to puzzles sooner than probably she should have. But honestly, do I still have fun playing that game? Do I really care? I mean, no, honestly not.
I don't know, I've already played it. I'm playing on the PS4 now. What was that about?
I'm just joking. Tricky, we've all planned it. Well, except for Matt. 'Cause Matt doesn't get
I was gonna say, don't speak too soon.
No, it's just like I'm going through on easy just to get the other plat. I'm not really caring about the story so much, or because I like the gameplay, but I don't. It's just Sorry, Rick's comment just threw me off for a second. He says it annoys me when Aloy talks in general. And then he says, "I thought of Toothless from How I Trained My Dragon." I guess that he was referring to Narga.
Nargacuga?
Yeah. Yeah, just...
Man, Rick's throwing some serious shade at Ashley Birch there.
I think he... I don't know. I like Aloy talking.
Here's my issue with the game. And it's one not just of Horizon, but it's of multiple games that do this, is you have an audio log. And you're trying to listen to the audio log.
And other people are talking?
Well, there's other people talking, or if you walk too far down an area, it then cuts off the audio log for Aloy to say something. It's always an awkward thing. It's like some people don't want to be locked into sitting there listening to an audio log, but some people like me hate it when the audio log, which I'm purposely going to try to listen to, is cut off by something else. And now I got to go into my inventory and figure out which audio log it is.
Years ago when BioShock did the audio logs for their gameplay, like it came up as you collected it, but it came up in the corner of the screen and you could listen to it as you continued on.
Yep.
So yeah, like Horizon, if you move away from it, then yeah, it cuts off. So I totally understand that. It would be nicer if they did something closer to the BioShock series.
Rick says, it wasn't Ashley Birch. It was Aloy's massive head as a child that put me off the game forever. It's fucking huge.
Yeah, but she grows up, Rick. She's not always like that. The rest of the body grew into the head.
All right, so I'm testing the theory. I took the trophy cards off the screen.
Thank you.
Maybe a sign of things to come. Hint, 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 hint. The only one
I told you, man, on the new overlay, I know the listeners haven't seen it yet.
Stop spoiling
What?
shit.
I'm not showing a picture. I'm just saying that maybe we don't need trophy cards.
Shit. Stop spoiling shit.
I'm not spoiling anything.
You are spoiling shit.
Do I have a T-shirt on with the new overlay on? No, it's Sly Cooper. Get off my nuts.
My God.
The Thievius Raccoonus.
If Yield has his way, we'll never get it out there because yes, Yield, what's his thoughts? He's like, I have no thoughts.
He did give you his opinion, though.
And you didn't like it.
I give it.
Then you kept asking for my opinion, so I kept giving it. And you're like, you're not helping.
You're not helping. Listeners, without going into detail, I showed Yield an overlay that I worked.
Oh, stop spoiling shit.
No, well, it's already out there at this point. It's already out there at this point. I put hours upon hours into making this thing. Showed it to them. I got feedback. I made changes. I go back to Yield and go, Yield, what do you think about this? He goes, I think it looks too busy. Okay, but I need to know, do you like this aspect or Do you want me to put this aspect back on? Do you want me to take this aspect back off? He goes, my opinion is looks too busy. Aspect and no aspect. I'm like, that
See?
doesn't
That's
answer my
opinion.
question. That didn't answer my question. I asked
I
you.
think the specific aspect you were talking about or asking about was what made it look busy to him.
No. It was
No.
what went around the what the aspect was going around was what I was asking about. He wanted to take the thing that was. Anyway,
You know, without being able to see what we're talking about, the listeners are probably, what the fuck?
that's why I just stopped mid-sentence. I'm like, this is gonna
If
get
we
too
don't
confusing.
move on, I'm going to start deleting topics off this agenda, and you are not going to remember what they are.
I could always go into the revision history and see which ones you removed, sir. All right, let's move on. First topic: PlayStation Plus game catalog editions for April have been revealed. This is coming from the PlayStation blog. That's not the one I put up there. Somebody.
Yeah, because I didn't want this to be an IGN fest.
Coming from the PlayStation blog and written by Adam Michael. What was that, Yield?
I said, good job, Matt.
New games will be hitting the PlayStation Plus game catalog this month. Animal Well for the 5, Tales of Kenzaro Zhao for the 5, Dave the Diver for the 4 and the 5, Oddballs for the 4, Construct Simulator for the 4 and the 5, The Crew 2 for the 4, Raj and Ancient Epic for the 4 and the 5, Lego Ninjago movie video game for the 4, Knower, Play with Your Food, Play with the 4 and the 5, Deliver Us Mars for the 4 and the 5, Lego Marvel's Adventures for the 4, Mayasama Chronicles for the 5,
Miasma.
whatever, Stray Blade for the 5, and classics hitting the premium are Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare. This is gonna get Alex. Medieval and
Medieval.
It's medieval.
No, it's medieval. That's
It's-
why the E's capitalized.
It's medieval. And Star Wars Rebel Assault 2.
medieval.
I'm about to go medieval on your ass, Tricky.
You already did last week.
Everybody's in a great mood today. I love it.
You already did last week as I made a simple joke that you didn't find funny, but you know, we're not gonna go down that path, are we?
Tricky, you're going to have to be more specific. You you make tons of jokes that aren't funny.
Let's put it this way: you sicked your girlfriend on me.
Man,
No.
I keep up here grumpy, and
We're
I'm
not going down that
confused.
path.
If you also go back and look at that chat, Riley gave you shit.
No, he didn't. He made a joke.
Yes, he did.
He made a joke right along with me.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he
Did
did.
you go back and read that? Riley completely was giving you shit.
All right, we're moving on. Yield, you were saying something, sir?
I said I came up here in a bad mood. Now I'm feeling pretty good.
All right, so Matt, we'll start with you. Any of these games? You're not PlayStation Plus anymore, so.
See? Simple. Done.
Done.
Matt, do you have any experience with any of these games that you would recommend to our listeners?
Don't play The Crew 2. Ubisoft is royally fucking people over with that series. Dave the Diver. Definitely go in and play Dave the Diver if you have this, because that is a fantastic, fantastic game.
All right, Yield. Any? Some of these games you should be able to play, correct?
I no, because I'm not a member of the anything above essential.
I thought I gave you Above Essential.
Remember,
No.
he rejected it because he didn't want you to spend that much money because he had multiple years that you would have to buy for.
Yeah, I thought it was. Okay, I may be misremembering. I thought he didn't want to be premium, but I thought he was the middle.
No, I didn't want to be either because I won't really use it. And on top of that, I am like years out like you, so you weren't going to spend that kind of money on something I wasn't going to use.
10-4.
Anyway, Dave the Diver, that Raja and Ancient Epic, I just watched the trailer when it's been on sale. That looks kind of fun. Lego Ninjago was offered free at one point. I don't know, it wasn't a plus free. It was just offered free, so I picked that up then. I've already played Lego Marvels. And yeah, that's it.
All right, Alex, your thoughts, sir.
Dave the Diver obviously is the next game I'm probably going to play, add into my rotation with Rocket League and Helldivers. Most of these other games are largely unknowns. I mean, I know Lego Ninjago and the Marvel Avengers game. Not really. I'm kind of, I've for years now I've avoided the Lego games unless like Lego Ghostbusters or something that comes out. I'm tired of like the collectathons that are Lego games, but I honestly, don't really have an issue with them. It's just they take up too much time, and I really don't. I enjoy the licenses, not the actual gameplay of a Lego game. So unless a license really comes that I want to play, I'm not really looking to play any of those. Most of these other ones are just kind of unknown games to me. I believe Raji, an ancient epic, is one I've seen before. So that name kind of jumped out at me. But the rest of them, I'm just gonna have to watch trailers on and decide from there, because most of these are smaller, lesser known games to me.
Let me get back to it real quick. I did want to try out the Crew 2, but now Matt just turned me off of it. What's going on with the Crew that I'm missing there, Matt?
So the recent story was that Ubisoft was revoking some licenses of people who had the Crew 1 on their platform. So just be aware.
As in, they bought it and now they're not going to be able to play it at all?
Correct.
Wow.
Well, I have to do more research into the story. That's why I didn't want to include it this week. I really need more time, because you get a sensational title like that, and suddenly something comes out 24 hours later. But I will say this: the Crew 2 did not do very well upon release. So there you go.
How's the Crew Motorfest going?
I don't know. I don't play the games.
I did play the Crew, but I was playing it good for a while, and then I just hit like this difficulty wall and just like turned me off, and I never went back. Some comments from chat. Rick says he's picturing Stickman in Microsoft Paint, I guess, for the overlay. No, that's not what's going on. Rick said he likes that the bot got kicked out. Then he tried to correct my way of medieval, and he's wrong. And then Roboto Love, not Roberto, Roboto Love says, have you ever hear of a game called Pokemans?
Yes, it's one of the most rarest collectible items, Roboto. So, go collect that game.
Then Rick says, why don't we have a Lego Ghostbusters?
I don't know, Rick.
right?
I've been suggesting it for years. I've been suggesting it literally for years.
Yeah.
Lego Stay Puft would be adorable as hell.
Well, Stay Puft is just adorable as it is. All right, so
Hey, don't piss him off. He'll come to your town and wreck shop.
Rick, I want you to know I put this topic in the agenda with you solely in mind. Slay the Spire 2 has officially been announced, but it won't be in Unity. It's coming from IGN, written by Kat Bailey. Slay the Spire 2 has been announced, and as promised as a mega crit has moved away from Unity. Wishlist it now. It's early access in 2025. Rick says, woohoo!
Yeah, and let's remember Unity had, it was that big kerfluffle where CEO John Riccatello and the company decided to try to squeeze more fees out of developers for using Unity. And this is a case where, Slay the I can't remember what the name of the studios that did Slay the Spire, but they probably decided to move away from Unity because of that.
Yield, I don't know if you ever talked about Slay the Spire. Did you ever play it?
No, I have not.
You have any interest in playing it?
I don't know. I've never seen a trailer for it.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Matt?
Love Slay the Spire 1. Not as much as Rick, but I love it. And I will definitely pick this up. And it will entertain me for hours.
I've seen it. I just never give it a shot. He says, I will literally open my laptop to play this game if it's not on PS5 at the start. 10-4. All right. Now we have another article which caused a little heartbreak and cheering in our text sessions. Are you raising your hand, Matt?
No, I'm stretching.
Okay. As the corner of my eye, I just saw your hand raised. Okay, so this comes from IGN, written by Kat Bailey. EA has shot down rumors that Dead Space 2 remake. So essentially, there was a rumor that came out that says that EA was not happy with the original sales of Dead Space, and they're shutting down the Dead Space 2 remake. I think this is the only thing, maybe a typo. The only thing EA actually squashed this week was the rumor that EA Motive was even working on the game. While there may have been some work on the concepts of the game, it never entered official production. So let's break this out real quick. A rumor came out saying the Dead Space 2 remake was being squashed. EA has come out and said that's not true. We're not even making the game.
Well, I mean, both could be true because they could have made the decision. There could have been, early rumblings or talks at EA Motive to make the game or remake the game, and before they even got to on production, EA could have said, "No, you're not doing that." So, I mean, both of these rumors could be true.
Rick says Matt's angry. Why is Matt angry?
Matt's tired. Matt needs some sleep. Well, no, Matt needs some ice cream first, and then needs some sleep.
Nitro says, I'm not surprised by your skill issue. I don't know. And then Rick
must
said,
be talking about you and the Suicide Squad trophy, Tricky.
Listen, I should have that platinum. That's all I'm saying.
Is it a known glitch trophy online?
Yes, it's been reported. Apparently, as we shift topics here. Okay, so there's a trophy where you have to equip 3 pieces of tier 3 equipment. And when they coded the game, this is all speculation right now because I haven't seen any confirmation either way. We started out with Bane infused gear, and now they've launched season 1, and now we're using Scarecrow infused gear. I have 3 pieces of Scarecrow tier 3 gear, and apparently there's a glitch that the Scarecrow isn't triggering the trophy, where if I went back and got 3 pieces of the Bane tier 3, it would pop. So I'm working on that now. Rick says, yay, V. I guess V came into the camera.
V came to get Zelda out of the room.
Gotcha.
Zelda's in the shot. I wonder, though, Tricky, if maybe you putting on the Scarecrow has just glitched out the trophy entirely. Like, maybe the game still thinks that you glitched it or that you earned it and you just never got it.
No, because me and Tross were playing earlier, and Tross was having the same problem, and we were playing, and he's a lot higher level in the Season of Infamy, which is the first one, the story, and he got the trophy today. So it didn't glitch out. And I'm on the Suicide Squad bug reporting website, and it's the Rocksteady has confirmed it has to do with the Scarecrow gear and not triggering the trophy. So it's just a simple something that they got to go in and just patch it, and then with the next update, the trophy will pop. Hopefully. Rick's apparently upset about Dead Space because he said it wasn't a Dead Space 2 remake, but it was a sequel to Dead Space remake. Dead Space 1 sold 2 million. They expected to sell 5 million off the remake. Dumb fucking projections yet again. And they says remake sold 2 million, yet still a failure. So I'm not going to go too deep into that, but some companies, they make projections, and if they don't hit their expectations,
sorry.
Well, it's mostly Square Enix, but
I mean, not every game is the same. Like,
yeah.
Some games sell, it's not like, oh, you have to hit this certain, like, 5 million for a game to be successful. Sometimes studios are happy or publishers are happy with something that sells under 1 million. Sometimes, it's just over 1 million. Like, you can never tell. It's basically how much money they had to put into the game. And I don't know. EA with a remake can kind of tell what gauge the success because they know how many people bought the original Dead Space, and you can probably bet that the amount of people who bought the original Dead Space back on the PS3 or whatever, the 360, were probably going to be invested in this game. So you kind of had an idea. So I don't know if the original game did that well and this game just didn't do that well, or as well. But I mean, 2 million. For a survival horror game, I mean, outside of Resident Evil, how well do you really expect a survival horror game to do? I mean, there's an audience for it, but I don't know what he was expecting, but it's different for every game. I think a lot of people would have been happy with 2 million sales for the game, but other games sell even more than that, and they're still disappointed. It's all in how much you have to budget for these games, and clearly EA just expected too much out of Dead Space.
All right, anybody else want to talk about this?
It sucks. That's all I'll say. Is I would have liked to have played another Dead Space remake or a sequel or whatever it was going to be. I mean, Rick says it was a sequel to the remake, which I would have liked to have seen what EA Motive could have done, because the first game they made got really high review marks. It was considered, I think, in some discussions for Game of the Year awards. Not categories for the Game Awards. I don't remember exactly what it was nominated for, but it was in there in the conversation for some awards. So it sucks.
You
What are you laughing at, Tricky? You laughing at our misfortune?
No, I'm laughing at Matt because Rick's going off in the chat a little bit, and Matt just responded. I was just saying, Matt, you could have just said that. All right. Moving on. Yield. This is for me and you, buddy. Star Wars Outlaws expensive gold and ultimate editions with their season passes and early access are sparking debates. This is coming from IGN and written by Yesley Winpool. Along with the announcement and trailer for the Star Wars Outlaws comes the ability to pre-order $110 and $130 collector's editions. Additionally, the single-player only game will have a season pass available, which will include two post-launch DLCs, though details on those have yet to be shared. Some criticize the idea of a season pass in a single-player game, as well as the lament at the price of the collector's editions. Yield, I know how you are with prices and collector's editions and whatnot. This collector's edition, as far as I know, and I looked, it's not even including like a statue or something. This is just digital stuff that they're adding on to the collector's edition. What are your thoughts, sir?
It's pricey for a bunch of nothing. I mean, if I bought any tier, it would be the gold edition, because essentially I was talking about this with the guys over the weekend. Essentially, which is $110 for the gold. For $130, all that you're getting is 2 sets of cosmetics for your ship, your hover bike, your main character, and your doll, cat, whatever it is. That's it. Oh, and a digital art book. So $20 for a digital art book and 2 sets of skins. I don't know what they're thinking. So, but I have a hard time buying into a season pass on a new game that I don't know, one, how the new game is going to be and what you're doing for your story DLC. If this was Jedi Fallen Order and this was Jedi Survivor that they were doing it for, I would probably buy it because I enjoyed the first game so much. How badly could you screw this up, right? I am leaning more towards probably just getting the base game, and I'll wait and see how the game feels and how it is, and if I want to do the DLC for it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I especially when it comes to certain games, like I'll pay the $70. I'll get the base game, and then normally the season pass gets discounted pretty quickly.
Well, I mean, not only that, you're asking for $20 for each DLC pack,
basically,
because you get 2 story DLCs, and it's another $40 for that. I mean, that's not bad. That's the going rate. But at the same token, if I wait 6 months to a year, I'll get it for 10.
Yeah, and it really depends. I mean, we've had this discussion many times about, when you get, say, in a season pass, and you don't know what's in that season pass, asking people to pay $30, $40 for a season pass that quickly, or especially on a new IP like this, that is a tall order to ask people to do.
It is, and this could turn into an Uncharted season pass where, we're just going to turn this into a game.
Which I think worked out in the end. I mean,
it did, but everybody who bought into it, with this being Ubisoft, they may not go like, Naughty Dog was like, well, people already bought into it, so you'll get it for free because you've already, committed to it.
Right.
Ubisoft could be like, yeah, we're here's some cosmetics. We're just going to make this into a game. Thanks.
Rick says Yield will never pre-order again. I guess in response to Sea of Thieves.
In that instance, yes.
And Roboto Love says don't buy collector's editions that do not include physical media.
Yes.
And then Rick says he says that don't, because I'll agree with that. Here's a steelbook, but no disc.
Which steelbook? Order it from Target.
And you know what? I know I'm in the minority, especially in this group, but I like the collection editions that don't come with disc and to come with a code. Yield, I know you like your physical media, but I've gone all digital. So having the ability to buy a collector's edition without having to worry about reselling the physical disc to buy it digitally, I like that. But I know I'm unique in that situation.
Yeah, you're the minority, and I'm not opposed to that. Then I say, then you make two.
That's fair as well. All right, and then there's
because asking me to pay $240 or whatever, well, like was for Horizon, it wasn't quite that much. And I'm getting a digital copy. I felt royally hosed on that.
Rick says, Roberto first said, Tricky, your words make children cry. Why? I've gone all digital. And then Rick says, why do you want an empty steelbook on your shelf? Because I don't have physical discs.
But then why do you want a steelbook?
Because steelbooks look cool.
But there's nothing in them.
So?
Tricky, did you read the second part of this article where it talked about the requirements if you buy a physical copy of this game?
I'm going there right this second. The next part of this article, which is more controversial, Yield, this is coming from Michael Kripe, also at IGN. A day one patch will be required to play the single-player only game, so be prepared that if you intend on taking some time off, expecting to jump right in, because even the physical edition will require an online connection to install it.
Leave it to Ubisoft to take a good thing and muck it up.
So, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but at some point in the future, if you buy this game later, years down the road, because we know that a large part of our audience likes physical media, is this being pulled from a server that they could eventually take down and you could be prevented from playing this game in the future, even if you own the physical copy?
Matt, you want to take that one? Or because I have a theory, but I don't have any facts.
I don't think so, because this one's just requiring it for the install, but there is the potential that in the future, if you try to install it on let's say 20 years down the line, you go to install it on a new console that you never had before, it could block you if they took the servers offline and no longer have access to that patch. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they come up with when people get their hands on the physical copy. I'm sure there's going to be some workarounds that people develop, but that is a concern down the line.
Yeah, my point being is that here's another instance where you can own the disc, but you may not be able to play this game forever.
Okay, so here's the catch-22 in this conversation, is the fact that, and I don't jump on me right away because I know exactly what you guys are going to say. The Division is an online game. I know that. But there are many games, including Mortal Kombat 1, where you need an internet connection to play the game. Watch Dogs was the same thing. So I'm reading into this, and I don't have any facts to back this up. But what this sounds to me like is that you're gonna be required to play online, an online connection to play the game, and the disc that's going to be in the box when you get a day one is not going to have the day one patch, making the game unplayable. I assume.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm assuming that in a year's time, if the game's still selling, those discs that will be shipped to the store will have those patches on the disc already. I don't have any facts behind that, but that's my theory.
Well, that stands with current practices, especially when it comes to Nintendo. But here's the catch. Something about that disc is making the game not able to be played until you download it and get the day one update. And there's day one updates for most games these days. But when it comes to refusing to let you play without a day one update, in other words, if you're like, all right, I don't want to go through the update, I'm just going to take my system offline and install the game that way so I can get to play, this game's going to tell you must phone home to be able to play, which for a single player game, kind of bullshit.
I don't disagree with you. Like, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to play Mortal Kombat 1 without an internet connection. I'm not trying to play online. I'm trying to go through the tower mode. But that's the way it's set up now. There's a love fest going on between Rick and Roboto Love in the chat. Roboto Love says, when your account inevitably gets banned because you do something bad, you'll wish you had your games physically. Rick says, and that's dumb. You shouldn't need to be online to play a single-player game. I agree. And then Rick says, it's another way they're trying to stop people from trading games. I don't know necessarily. Okay. I don't know necessarily that will stop you from trading your game, though.
It's an Ubisoft game, and it's a quadruple A game, which means it's going to do fantastic on the sales. Hey, Yield, when was the last time you played Skull and Bones?
A week ago.
Are
you still liking it?
Quadruple A game. You should be playing that every day.
I should be.
I mean, is it something wrong, or you just haven't gotten a chance to get back to it yet?
No, I just haven't gone back to it. I was playing Sackboy and then some Helldivers. Well, then the new War Bond came out, and then I was trying to play Sea of Thieves, and so I could have been playing Skull and Bones this weekend, a pirate game that I can play.
So in chat, Rick asks, "What the fuck is a quadruple A game?" Because before Skull and Bones came out, good old boy Yves from Ubisoft came out and said Skull and Bones is a quadruple A game. And we would have priced it more, but this is the way it is. But it's a quadruple A game in quality, and I think most people will agree that it's nowhere near quadruple A.
Was it Yves that said that? Yeah,
it was either Yves or one of the developed. Like I think it was Yves. Hold on,
it was, because his quote was, "You'll see Skull and Bones is a fully fledged game. It's a very big game. We feel that people really see how vast and complete the game is. It's really a full AAA, quadruple A game that will deliver in the long run." That was the quote.
Yeah, how's that working out there, Yves?
All right, so I need to step away for a second, so I'm going to open this to the boys. This is a section I'm going to affectionately called the Helldivers 2 corner, because the bottom left and right corners are going to talk Helldivers for a second. This has come from IGN. They have new ship upgrades, and some of them sound amazing. Matt, I'll let you lead because I'm pretty sure you read the article.
Yeah, all right. So your Helldivers 2 corner, this is your reminder to go out and get your monthly war bond to help the initiative against the bots and the bugs. And for all you TikTok people, this is going to be satire. Obviously, you didn't understand that our previous conversations are very satirical. So there's your disclaimer. Anyways, the newest war bond features a lot of explosive stuff, including a grenade pistol, which is interesting.
It's nice.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I have unlocked page 2 of them. So the end result is also shadow dropped on this update were the new upgrades to your ship. So if you don't play, what it is your ship has 3 tiers of upgrades for each of your stratagems. So your orbitals, your eagles, and your turrets and your weapons. And you upgrade them, which gives you better drop times, reloads, more shots. And what they did on this patch was they provided a fourth tier, which, of course, it's going to have you provide additional resources to be able to buy them. So, on one of the particular ones, I got especially giddy when the guy showed me because it increased fire damage from stratagems by 25%. So naturally, that's going to be the first one I go for.
Included in that was the flamethrower. So the flamethrower will do more damage now.
Yeah, the flamethrower, napalm, and there was a third. Oh, and incendiary mines.
Unfortunately, there still seems to be that weird bug that the fire doesn't do any extra damage unless you're the host. So something to be aware of. But yeah, Rick, Helldivers wishes it was as good as Starship Troopers. Are you talking about the game or the movie? Because those are two separate entities. Yeah. Alex, how do you feel about the shadow drop on these stratagem upgrades?
I mean, I've been looking for something. I've banked enough samples to where I can't earn anymore. I banked enough requisition slips because I have, and I can't get any more of those for missions because I bought all the stratagems on the ship. So I previously updated everything on the ship, bought all the stratagems. Basically, when they were releasing new stratagems, I bought them right away, and then within 2 games, I was maxed out again. So now with this, you not only have to use the samples that you get throughout the game, but also requisition money. So they're finding more ways for you to use your resources. And, these, considering that you have to get sometimes 200 common samples, like 100 something rare samples, and then 15 super rare samples, it's going to take you some time. Like, even if you've maxed out everything, you may be able to buy 2 upgrades at once. So you're going to have to put in a lot more work, go back, getting samples. So now, someone who's played as much as I have, over 130 hours, I've been saving up a bunch of stuff, gotten to the max. Now there's stuff that I get to work to again. So I am, I still got stuff to buy in the war bonds. I've actually, aside from this new war bond, which I haven't opened, new premium war bond, Democratic Destruction, I have basically bought almost everything in the war bonds. So I've been slowly making my way into unlocking everything in the game, but now these new modules that you have to upgrade in your ship give me something else to chase. So that's nice. And yeah, they've constantly updated the game since its release. We've gotten many updates since it was released, not even 2 months ago. So it's nice to see they're supporting it while it's extremely popular to feed into people still wanting to play it and keep it extremely popular. So it's always good for them to update the game and bring new things to the game. Keep it fresh.
And Yield, what's your thoughts on this?
So I knew something was up because last week a random ship upgrade showed up, and it said you could purchase it, but there was no cost. So when you went to purchase it, it would say it would go through the animation, but then you wouldn't unlock it. So I figured that we had some modules on the way. I like what they did. I know some people may complain about the cost of them, but like Alex said, I'm in the same boat. I had everything maxed out except for super rare, and so it's nice to, now when I collect requisition slips, I'm like, hey, that counts for me now. So it's nice, and I like how they did it. It's a little upgrade here and there, every level, and you can kind of go with what suits your playstyle. I went with the XL weapons bay because I use a lot of Eagles. Now my next toss-up will either be the I'll pack more ammo into a weapons cache or the fire one.
All right. And Tricky, any thoughts, despite you saying that you deleted the game, you treasonous dog?
I did have a hankering to play the game the other day, but you guys were all at work, so that feeling went away.
You can play with some randoms.
No, I don't want to.
Dude, I've spent most of my game playing with randoms.
Yeah, but you actually liked the game. Rick says Abakami. It's too hard for me. Yeah, it's probably is too hard for me.
It's not too hard. You just haven't gotten to the point where you can buy the best stratagems.
I will say, in a small defense of Tricky, this is a small defense of Tricky. I can see where his color blindness makes it hard for him to play this game.
Yield, I'm proud that you actually remembered that I have the color blindness.
I'm just saying. I forget stuff like this, and when we were playing, and he's like, I don't see what you're saying. And we're like, how can you not see what we're saying? And he's like, I'm colorblind. And it's like, oh, I keep forgetting that. So in that defense, with how they have the game set up, with the fog, night and day, the different colored planets, I can see where this would be challenging for him. And I'll leave it at that.
I don't know how to
I still think you're treasonous, but I will defend you in that aspect.
Somebody find out how to clip something. Clip that. There we go. Clipped it.
Well, to be fair, I know that if you're colorblind, they won't allow you to enlist in certain part of the armed forces. So who knows? Maybe if you're colorblind, they would not even allow you to enlist for the Helldivers.
Funny story.
No, maybe he would be building the shields.
Funny story, Alex. When I actually signed up for the military, because I was in the military, that's actually when I found out I was colorblind. I went through all the registration and whatnot, and then one of the final things before I was shipped off to basic training was them giving me a colorblind test. And out of 24 pictures, I only got one right. And now I'm panicking. I'm thinking, okay, is this going to disqualify me from being in the military? And the guy said to me, he goes, no, you're just never going to fly a plane, and you're never going to be a bomb disposal technician. Which is ironic because I was actually wearing a shirt that on the back of the shirt it says bomb squad technician. If you see me running, try to keep up. Wow, nothing out of you guys. Nothing.
No, nothing.
That's funny.
I've heard that one 20 million times before.
You've never heard me tell that story.
I have heard that joke a million times.
Okay, but it's funny because it happened to me. Okay.
But did it?
Yes, it did. I still have the shirt. But yeah, that's actually how I found out I was colorblind. And then my grandmother had to apologize to me because she punished me for. There was a time we watched Schindler's List. Have you all seen Schindler's List?
Oh no! Oh shit!
You guys all seen that movie?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so apparently that entire movie's in black and white, except for one scene where there's a girl in a red coat. So I watched that movie. Now, you have to understand, my eyes, that movie was in full color the entire time. It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street. They're all in color to me. Because in reality, what I see is shades of gray, and I associate those shades of gray to be that color, and that's what I see with my eyes. Anyway, so my grandmother, we watched the movie, and then my grandmother asked me, she goes, so what'd you think about the little girl in the red coat? Like, what was her symbolism? And it didn't stand out to me because it was just a girl in the red coat that I saw. And my grandmother punished me for 2 weeks for lying to her. Yeah. Tricky, have you seen The Matrix? Yes, I've seen The Matrix. And Rick laughed at my joke. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you. Alex, go throw a light on. You're sitting in the dark, sir.
Well, you know what? Here in Kentucky, it's getting late.
Roberto Love says, I've seen 50 Shades of Grey, too. I see 50 Shades of Grey every day. And it's not a naughty movie. All right, so we're done talking about Helldivers, right? So.
Yep.
Time to check my social media, yeah.
All right, we have two questions. One coming from Rick. Rick wants to know, any games on your profile that you don't have the 100% because they now have unattainable trophies due to server shutdown, etc. I just did the one on Mass Effect 3 that requires the servers to be up, Defender. It was surprisingly active for a 12-year-old game and not with people playing for trophies either after checking their profiles. If you could reopen one game server to get the plat, what would it be? His would be Skate 2. All right, so let's step back and ask the first question. Are there any games on your profile that you don't have 100% because the server got shut down and you're no longer able to get the platinum? We'll start with, well, Matt, I would ask you, but you're not going for a plat anyway.
You can skip me for these.
Alex, any trophy on your system that you don't have because the server shut down?
I mean, there's plenty. The Ghostbusters, the original game for the video game for PS3, the multiplayer trophies you can't get right now because the servers are down. Of course, for the PS4 remaster, they took the online trophies out, which is nice because you could actually get the platinum in it then. Twisted Metal for PS3, servers are down, so you can't get the online trophies for that. It's actually probably about half the trophies in that game you can't get. Because of servers being down. So yeah, there's at least 2 examples there. NFL Blitz, EA's NFL Blitz for the 3. Servers are down for that. Can't earn the platinum for that. I'm trying to think. I'm just going through my list here on the PlayStation app and just seeing. But yeah, that's all that I can see right now. I'll update with any others. But
all right, before we go to Yield, just to include Matt in the conversation, you have a unique question in the chat, Matt. Rick wants to know, Matt, what is your favorite type of cheese?
It really depends on what I'm going for, but I can always go with a good Havarti.
All right, and
can I also answer?
No. That was for that. That question was from Matt because your question is trophy related. He doesn't have trophies.
I'd rather answer that question about cheese.
Roberto says Matt is the Limburger guy. I'm ashamed to say I don't know what Limburger is.
Limburger. It's. I think I can't remember if that's the exact, but it's a kind of cheese.
It's a stinky cheese.
Yes,
it's a really stinky cheese.
Okay. All right, Yield, back to the trophies.
Nope. Alex, Red Rick comes back in and says, Alex, what is your favorite cheese?
I'm a Swiss man, although I like almost any cheese. The only cheese I don't really like is blue cheese because it can be really salty.
But is blue cheese really a cheese? It's more of
it's called blue cheese.
Yeah, but it's
I swear to God, if you say it's a salad dressing.
It is.
It is a salad dressing. It's a flavor.
Where do you think they got the salad dressing from?
And unfortunately, the salad dressing is a pale comparison because if you go and get Tricky doesn't get good wings, so they probably don't give good blue cheese dressing.
With that shit?
If you go and get quality wings and they give you quality blue cheese, it's got chunks of blue cheese in it.
Rick says blue vein cheese. It's moldy. The blue is mold. Ew. And apparently, I'm assuming this is Ro in the chat. Hi, Ro. Ro is a Colby fan.
Colby is very good.
Yeah, that's what I would go with. Colby
cheese is like cereal. There's not many bad cereals. Also, not many bad cheeses.
There are way too many bad cereals.
What's the cereal you don't like?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Says, you don't like Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
No.
He can't see the reason why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I just think it's a subpar cereal.
What else don't you like?
You're making me think here.
Oh, well, there were so many cereals. Why would you have to think?
I mean, because I'm trying not to give cheap answers like the store brands.
You know what? I hate Raisin Bran.
I can go with that. I agree.
I like some Raisin Bran. I like Raisin Bran. Rick says Tricky likes plain cheese and cereal. Everyone says blasphemy. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the bomb. I'm not saying it's. I don't know. Just to me, it's just too much.
Too much cinnamon?
It's too much for a cereal. All right, can we get back on track? Yield, are there any trophies you can't get because the servers are down?
Warhawk.
Okay. I was trying to go like single player, not like multiplayer base games, but Rick says good answer. Good answer. Sounds like Family Feud. Me, I'm trying to think. What was the Marvel game that was like DCO? Marvel Omega? That got shut down like randomly, like
sure.
on a random Tuesday?
Sure. You're trying to think about like what the Disney one? What's the Disney one with like the little figures you bought? The Portal?
No, not Disney Infinity. This was the Marvel MMO that got shut down. Just it's like everybody went to work and then they got told, nope, the game shut down. It's being shut down.
There was a Marvel dungeon crawler called Marvel Heroes that got shut down.
Marvel Heroes 2016.
Yeah.
That was the game. Was it? Yeah. That's what it was. It was back on the 4. It wasn't Omega. So, or was it Omega? Was it? I don't know.
No.
But you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. All right. So, Yield, I guess I have to ask you too. What's your favorite cheese?
I would go Colby. Colby Jack.
I'm an American cheese guy, and I don't really branch out of my cheeses, but I do like a good cheddar cheese. Not too much of a Swiss fan.
Well, you like the sharp? You like the mild? What kind of cheddar you like?
It depends on what it's on, because
What if you're just making a sandwich? You're making a turkey sandwich.
then it's American cheese.
You don't want cheddar on there.
Yeah, no cheddar. But if I'm eating a roast beef, I want cheddar.
What do you want, sharp or mild?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just say cheddar. Never been asked that question before.
Really? How many delicatessens and sandwich shops are there in New York? No one's ever asked you that question?
No, because you got to understand. You walk in, you're like, "Hey, give me a ham and cheese on a roll." They just give you ham and cheese on a roll. You don't get asked that question. They're moving so fast. They're just like, done, out.
Rick said, "Damn, this throwaway cheese question got deep." You've listened to this before, right, Rick? This anytime you bring a question about food, it gets deep fast.
Oh, yeah.
Rick, Americans are fat, and we love our cheese.
Ro, are you still in the chat, Ro?
Ro left because of the cheese question.
No, Ro is in the chat. Okay, so Ro, you're on the West Coast now, but you are an East Coast girl. Okay, so I have to ask you this because it's a throwback from the beginning of the show. What is your thought on Fudgy the Whale? Ro will not let me down. Ro will give an honest answer and not troll.
Matt gave you an honest answer, and he wasn't trolling.
Ro says it's delicious. I've been getting criticized because it's a weirdly shaped cake.
Now, you've been getting criticized because you acted like, how could anyone ever criticize it?
Okay, first, Nitro, you need to... Never mind. I can't even correct Nitro in this situation.
Okay, all right. So back to the question. Rick had a question about our trophies.
Yeah, I think we all answered it.
Well, no, but he had another point to his question, right? What trophy list would you reopen?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Which server would you open to get the plat? Sorry. We'll start with you, Alex.
So, I mean, I went back to my early days of the PlayStation 3 where I was not as rigorous about getting 100%. And there are, quite a few games I couldn't go back and get now. Motorstorm Pacific Rift, Warhawk, Fat Princess. I already mentioned Ghostbusters, the video game, Resistance 2. I really think, though, one of the games I would like to go back and get the Platinum Trophy in, and I don't think that I could, would be Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Because that had multiplayer trophies, and I'm pretty sure that servers are shut down by now. So Assassin's Creed Brotherhood would be my answer.
Brotherhood was an online game?
It was the first game in the series that had multiplayer.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if this relates to Fudgy, but Rick says we have Colin the Caterpillar in the UK. Is that a cake out there? I don't know. Yield, what server would you bring back to get the platinum?
Warhawk.
I was going to say, don't say Warhawk. All right. And Matt, which cheese would you bring back for a sandwich?
See, Colin the Caterpillar, I just looked him up on Google. Colin the Caterpillar looks delightful. He looks like a swell chap.
My God. Show the picture in your camera, Alex.
Dude, Google this shit.
I got a lot of resources going on right now.
Can y'all see that well?
You're saying that looks better than a Fudgy?
He looks so adorable.
Another supermarket released Clive the Caterpillar and they got sued.
Hold on, let me see now if that'll...
That's looking weird.
So for listeners only, it looks like a caterpillar.
Yeah, it looks like one of those cake logs, but with a caterpillar's head and then little legs on the side. And it looks like it's got like M&Ms on its back.
Oh, I'm looking this up right now.
And also, there's little baby Collins on the side.
It looks like a cannoli.
It actually looks like a bunch of like ho-hos or ding-dongs smashed together for the body segments with little feet and legs and then the head and M&Ms on the back.
It looks like a cannoli.
Tricky, that does not look like a cannoli.
The one I'm looking at right now looks like a cannoli.
Pastry shell filled with stuff. These are like clearly chocolate cake. That's not the same thing.
Clearly.
Nitro says hashtag bad fudgy. The one I'm looking at right now, Rick, looks like a cannoli. You know what? Even that. Hold on. As we go on to the next question, I'm gonna. The next question is coming from. Hold on. Why are we locking out my thing? Here we go. Next question. David wants to know, what's your favorite holiday destination? As I bring up the cannoli.
Favorite holiday destination?
Yes.
My house.
Ditto.
Yeah, we don't have like a summer home or whatever in Florida, so it's just home. I'm assuming is this like a question from the UK? So like holiday means like not necessarily Christmas or Thanksgiving. It means like holiday, like vacation.
Yeah, you know what? Probably. What's your favorite vacation destination?
Alaska.
I don't really have a favorite. I mean, Disney is probably a place I would go to more often than most. Because I've been to numerous places for vacation, but it's not like I'm like, hey, let's go to Alaska every summer or something like that. So we don't really have a favorite vacation destination. It's like a list of places we would like to go, like to achieve in our lifetime. And probably one of the few that we would go to multiple times would be the Disney parks.
Okay, hold on. Rick, that's what I just Googled.
Looks adorable.
Okay. And I just messed up.
Hey, and look at that, Matt. You could easily section that out to share with everybody.
Especially chopping the face off.
That does not look like a cannoli to you?
No. A cannoli is a pastry shell.
My God.
If you're just talking about the shape, then kind of, yes. But look up a cannoli. A cannoli does not look like chocolate cake. You don't put candles in a chocolate cake. I saw a Colin the Caterpillar with candles on the back. You can't do that with a cannoli.
Yes, Rick, cannolis are small, except when they're not.
I just messed up the whole frame.
Looks fine to me.
It's off. It's going to bug me. All right.
Bug you like Colin the Caterpillar?
Nitro says, wait, you guys take vacations? Not often.
Yeah. No. I took one over spring break, but we stayed home and just did some stuff around Louisville.
Rose says, Amsterdam is dope to visit. Highly recommend. I think I'd get myself arrested in Amsterdam.
No, that's because you're a heathen.
All my friends are heathens. Never mind.
Are you leading this podcast or what? What are we doing?
I'm trying to fix things here. Yield, what's your... I don't know if you answered. Did you answer?
What am I answering?
Your favorite holiday
vacation
place to go, like vacation spot.
Alaska.
Oh, you did say Alaska, and Matt.
I did. I've been there twice.
Matt's talking to V right now, so. Mine.
He's muted.
I want to say England. I'd like to go to England, but I've never been there.
Why? It's just a giant island.
You know, we got a bunch.
I kid because I care.
I was gonna say we got a bunch of people across the pond in the chat right now. No, I've always wanted to see like Big Ben and go there.
If I can pass out any recommendations from places I've been in Europe, Budapest in Hungary is a cool city, as well as Rome, Venice, Florence in Italy, as well as Athens in Greece. And if you're doing a tour of the Greek Isles, if you ever get to do that, Santorini is an incredible place to visit. So
And Matt, what was your answer? I'm sorry, I don't know if you answered.
Cruising.
Like on a cruise
Just
ship.
cruising in general.
Cruising USA. We all remember that
No.
in the
He's talking
arcades.
cruising on a giant boat.
On a giant ship that I can eat as much as I want and sleep as much as I want and play as many games as I want and fuck everybody else.
Thank you, Ro, for stopping by. She says she's got a dip, but she's looking forward to catching this episode. Rick wants to know, did anybody catch the eclipse?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, I was at work, and luckily my work, they bought a bunch of glasses for everyone to share, and we went out in the back parking lot and looked up at the sun.
I couldn't care less.
I took the day off of work and had enjoyed the heck out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was something like, I know that you had to drive further up into Indiana to see totality, and a lot of people did that, like hotels charging over $1,000 for a room, and apparently people were saying that, normally an hour and a half drive on the highway turned out to 6 hours because of so much traffic, and apparently they shut down parts of the highway because of it. But it was a cool experience. Like I just, like I said, took about 20 minutes out of my workday, went in the back with my coworkers and looked at the sky, and it was pretty awesome.
I didn't expect it to get as dark as it did.
And the temperature, you could definitely tell that there was a
Oh
temperature
God,
change.
it got cool. Yeah.
Hey, streetlights came on. It got dark enough where streetlights came on.
It was neat.
Rick wants to know, you fuck everybody on a cruise, Matt?
Well, yeah, it's true.
Especially everyone.
Then he called me an uncultured swine, I guess because I didn't like the eclipse. Nitro says there was an eclipse. I thought it was just cloudy here. And then for the listeners and not the people watching the video, Matt just showed a picture, and Rick says he's jealous.
I think that you'll get another shot. It's down in Alabama, I think, in 40 years, or not 40 years, but in maybe 2040 something. It'll be in Alabama.
I thought they said the next one was in 2077.
I don't know. I heard Alabama in the 2040s, but who knows?
If we make it to 2077, I'll be 97 years old.
And that was another reason why I decided to watch it, because I'll be dead the next time it comes around.
I was going to say, with the amount of stress and lack of sleep we all have, the anxiety levels for our generation, I don't think any of us are making it to 97.
Just Googled when's the next solar eclipse, and it's in, Alex, you're right, August 23rd, 2044.
Yeah, but that's not
right.
for everybody, though.
No.
I mean, this was the first time in Alex and my area that we had totality.
Yeah, but
This
was a lunar eclipse, wasn't it?
Yeah,
This was a solar eclipse.
solar.
Okay.
Does anybody want to clarify what the difference between a lunar and a solar is?
A lunar sun moves in front of the moon.
No,
the Earth moves in front of
Earth
the
moves in front of. Earth moves between the sun and the moon.
There you go, that way. And then this one's the other way. The moon moved between the sun and the Earth.
Got it. All right. We're moving on.
Are we really?
Last thing. I'm skipping the BAFTA award winners because...
Yes!
But Yield, I'm going to start this conversation with you because...
Oh, jeez.
Well, you were the one that really only responded in our text chat when I put this out there.
Because it's
Oh,
stupid thinking.
okay, hold on.
Wait, go ahead.
This is coming from 80.lv and written by Gloria Levine. Headline is, former Blizzard president thinks tipping game creators is a splendid idea. Mike Ybarra?
Ybarra.
There you go. The former president of Blizzard shared his desire to tip developers of especially enjoyable games. Quote, and it's a long quote. I've thought about this idea for a while. As a player, since I've been diving into single-player games lately, when I beat a game, there are just some that leave me in awe of how amazing the experience was. At the end of the game, I've often thought, I wish I could give these folks another $10 or $20 because it was worth more than my initial $70, and they didn't try to nickel and dime me every second, end quote. Games like HZD, God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, etc., I know $70 is already a lot, but it's an option at the end of the game I wish I had at times. Some games are that special. I know most will dislike this idea. And it says, by the way, I realize we are tired of quote-unquote tipping and everything else, but I view this different from pressure to tip scenario many face and give feedback on. Now, I'm going to preface this. because I've just learned this recently, tipping is really only a big thing in the States. You go to other countries, they either don't allow tipping or it just doesn't happen.
Well, so my question to that would be, are there employees that, so let me rephrase that. Do their waiters and waitresses, because that's the most common tipping thing, in the other countries, what are their starting wages? Because that's my understanding why we tip here is because they pay the waiters and waitresses so much less.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
they make under minimum wage per hour.
Okay,
Yes.
so hold on. That's a misconception. Because as somebody that's worked in the food industry, I will tell you this, and I know this for a fact to be true. Back when I worked for Pizza Hut, now granted, going back 20 years, when I worked for Pizza Hut, our drivers and our waiters and waitresses, they made $2.13 an hour because the minimum wage at that time was $5.15 an hour. The rest of their income, the reason they're paid half minimum wage is because the rest of their income is supposed to be supplemented with tips.
Tips.
If, for whatever reason, they don't make enough in tips to qualify for a minimum wage of their entire shift, the company is legally required to pay them to $5.15 an hour. So in no scenario will a driver, a waiter, or waitress, will they make less than $5.15 an hour under any circumstances. They're paid by the company initially $2.13 an hour, then their tips supplement. If their hourly wage in tips makes up the other $2.13, then that's what they make. If they, for some reason, don't, then the company is legally obligated to pay them at least $5.15 for that hour. I'm not saying right. I'm not saying wrong. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm just saying a lot of people think like they can go to work for 8 hours and get paid $2.13 an hour, not make any tips, and that's all they made. That's not true. They made at least $5.15 an hour for those hours. I'm not defending it. I'm just giving you the fact. Yield, I'll give you the floor back.
Tipping for video games. Okay, so it not going to happen from this guy. Not just because I'm a cheapskate, but just because it's not going to happen. Video games is not how I would consider a tippable job. If you want to give them an extra $10 or $20, buy their DLC.
What if they don't release DLC?
Huh?
What if they don't release DLC?
Well, then you gave them your initial $70, and because this is how I look at it. And I'm not saying that his idea is a bad idea, per se. I kind of get what he's saying. But at the same token, and maybe I'm looking at this wrong, game developers, those people in those positions make more money than I make. So should I then get tipped for driving a tow motor? Hey, you did a really good job. You loaded that truck really fast. Here's an extra $10. Right? It's just, no. It's a rabbit hole you don't need, we shouldn't go down. And that's just how I feel, you know? I mean, Tricky, you did a really good job picking up garbage today. You didn't hit anybody. Here's an extra $20.
I can't take that $20. That's accepting a bribe.
Yeah, I know, because of union rules. But you get what I'm saying. Right?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Alex, you stocked those shelves really nice today. Here's an extra $10.
That's every day, Yield. I'd be getting that $10 all the time.
I know you would. But you see what I'm saying? It's just.
So the issue is
part of your job.
How would, like with a waitress or like a server, you know, they are coming back multiple times to fill up drinks, to ask you how you're doing, to bring you napkins, to bring you extra condiments, all that kind of stuff. So their job isn't just like ship out a game and then leave you alone. Like they're there for the long haul throughout your dining experience to make sure that you have everything you need. Whereas like, so and when you do a tip, like I understand that restaurants will, you know, pool all the tips together and share it between everybody. I don't know how that works at all restaurants or if all restaurants do that. But in general, you know, if you tip somebody, you're tipping to one person. If
Correct.
you get to the end of the credits and you have the option to tip or somehow tip a studio or a person, like with a game studios being hundreds of people, how the hell is that money? You don't know that money is going to go to who you intend. You don't know what they're going to use that extra money for. They'd be like, oh yeah, people are giving us all these $10 here and there. We're going to put that back in the studio. You have no way of knowing or delineating, that Michael Johnson, who was the best grip or whatever, gets that money because that person did a really good job. So you're just tipping $10 extra to be split among hundreds of people like that.
Here's your penny.
I mean, I respect the idea that, Ybarra wants to give more money to people who make the games to supplement their income. But one, how would you even do that? How would you make sure your money's going to what you want it to go to? Because in the service industry, you have one server. It's not like you have 5 servers who come out and check on you. You've got one. So it's much easier to tip that one person based on the kind of service they give you. But it's an entire game studio. How the hell do you do that?
Thank you, Alex. I thought about that and forgot to say it.
Also, I just don't believe it's necessary to tip game developers. If you make a really good game and I buy it and enjoy it, I will then be on the radar to buy all of your games, or at least give most of your games a look. But I'm not really into the idea of tipping you for making a really good game. I'll support your studio by buying the game at full price if I really want it, and I'll support your studio through DLC if I really want the DLC. But I've never played a game. And as good of games as I have played, I've never thought at the end of it, man, I want to give this guys extra money because this is really good. I'd be like,
here's an extra $200. I severely underpaid for your game.
No, I paid for your game, and I thought you guys did a really good job, so I'm more likely to trust your studio when it comes in the future. But I'm not. I don't think the idea of tipping video game developers is necessary.
Matt, your thoughts?
I have never once gotten to the end of a game and said, wow, I'm so blown away. I want to give them even more money for nothing in return.
Matt's tired voice goes perfectly with this topic and response.
I've turned around and I've gone to companies and I said, okay, if I buy a game and I really enjoy the game and you have some cosmetic DLC that, you're overcharging for anyways, I'll buy that DLC because it supports the developer beyond just the base game. And like Alex said, if you do well on your game, I will buy your next one. If you don't do well on your game, then fuck you. If you don't make a good game, do you give me money back off of the service I didn't get? No. So fuck off with this.
Can I do a write-in tip? Please make a better game next time.
Here's a penny. Fuck off. It's that meme of Danny McBride. I'm gonna pay you $100 to fuck off. Don't ever come at me again. It's stupid, and especially given the fact that Ybarra was basically ejected from Blizzard after the Microsoft buyout. So good luck, Mike. Hopefully you get some job that gives you tips for survival.
Like Yield, I see what he's trying to say. I get it. I really do. But I also with Yield, I think this is a Pandora's box you don't want to open. You don't want to open up the idea that this is possible, because it could cause so many more problems. The only thing that I would say in defense of what he's saying, and I'll use Yield playing as an example. Yield, you played World of Warships. You put countless hours into the game. From what I understand, you have not. You didn't pay for the game, but you bought DLC for the game.
Yes.
You don't, and I'll make my point by asking you a question. You don't think at any point, with the amount of hours and enjoyment that you've gotten with that game, that you should have compensated them outside of DLC purchases for the game?
Hold on. Can I give Yield, you can answer the question, but let me give a counter argument. With how many times I've played Punch-Out! And Mega Man 3 in my life, should I then have to go back and recompensate Capcom and Nintendo for how many times I played that game and the hours I put into that game?
Okay, but the way you phrased it, in need, no. But I'm saying, my question is phrased into the fact of, you've gotten countless hours of enjoyment out of a game. Is there not a little part of you that says, I've gotten more than my money's worth, and I want to support this developer. I want to support this project. You know, if you could go back and pay Nintendo extra money for playing Star Fox, and that helps them make the next Star Fox game, hopefully it's good. That's my argument. I'm not saying
because there's sites like GoFundMe to help them fund games, like studios fund games. But if I give them a tip, like, hey, Capcom, I had a lot of fun, jacking around in Mega Man 3 all these years. Here's an extra $20. There's no fucking way I get to earmark what they spend that on.
I agree. And just to be clear, because Rick's calling me a corporate shiller for a corporate entity, I'm not saying this was what we should do. I'm just saying at some point, don't we feel like we've gotten our money's worth out of the game? We should be supporting it more?
No. Because the entire point of the tip, and I wanted to bring this up as a subject, the entire point of the tip is to reward somebody for good service. The developers are not giving us a service, except for live service games, which is another fucking argument I'm not going to get into right now.
But they're releasing new content that we can purchase or that we can spend money on.
Absolutely, which is the purpose of that. When I'm at a restaurant and I'm buying food, the service that I'm getting is the person bringing me my food, making sure I have refills and shit like that. So that's where that tip goes. That doesn't go towards the cooks.
Right.
Because their salary, their wage is built into the food that is sitting in front of me. Games are a product. We buy a product, we get the product. And at no point are the developers providing a service to enhance my absorption of that product, with the exception of live service games, of which they provide ways to pay, such as season passes, battle passes, DLC, cosmetic. So, and again, I will always go back to this. Season passes, battle passes, things like that are a way to siphon money off of you as a consumer. They're not there to enhance your playthrough. So, just going to leave it at that.
All right. Yield, I think we've kind of answered this already, but I did pose the question to you initially, so I do want to give you a chance to respond.
So, I go back to that's why I bought into the doubloons to buy the Arizona, is because I got the game for free. I really enjoyed it. I wanted the Arizona in my ships. So I spent, I think it was $60 to get doubloons so I could buy that ship, and then that's the only money I've put into the game. To me at that point, I felt I just gave you $60, which is what I would have paid for the new game anyway. So we're even.
All right. I mean, listen, I'm in agreement with you. I think this is a bad precedent to start. We always talk about, and I get on Yield sometimes about like when he waits until the game hits the bargain bin. And it's not because, I'm trying to tell Yield how to spend his money or anything like that, but I've always been a big component of, if you like the game, support the game at full price, give the developer a reason to go. And, the argument goes back and forth. Well, the developer already got their money. They, now it's the store selling it for a cheaper price. If anybody, the store's taking the hit on the price and all that other stuff. I get all that. I get what he's saying. But I don't think it's something we should be doing. But I do believe there should be a way. The the problem with this whole conversation, I think, is the word tip, because I don't think it's a tip. So, but I do believe this should be a way to further support the game.
Except, Tricky, the issue is a tip is not going to support the game. The tip is going to give money to Alex's point, who knows? That is not going to...
But even if that $20... Okay, just argument's sake. Even if I gave $20 for God of War Ragnarok. You know what? Bad example. God of War 2018, which never had any DLC. Even if I gave $20 to that and that money went straight to Sony Santa Monica, I'm okay with that. Because I think the word tip is what's throwing everybody off. It's going, oh, the tip should go to the principal technical artist, or it should go to this graphic designer, or whatever the case may be. If the money goes to the studio, I'm fine with that. Because ultimately, that studio is going to reinvest that money into making the next game.
No, they aren't. No, they're going to see that as, oh, good, we did a good job. We're gonna give that to our CEOs. We're gonna give that to our stockholders.
Okay, well that may be true as well. But my point is there's more money going into the studio that can be allocated. Again,
they can get investors.
Again, I'm not arguing and saying this is what should happen. I want to be clear about that. I just saying I like his idea. I just think it was very bad the way he phrased it. And we'll leave it
I don't like his idea at all.
Yeah, I think it's a. I get that the core of the idea is to better support developers and game companies, which I understand. But there's also a lot of waste and mismanagement of money in the games industry, and that's not my fault. So I don't agree with this idea being a thing. I think we should support developers, but I think his idea is silly.
All right. We're going to close out the show right now, but Rick wants me to mention he has pledged $25 to my extra life to make me watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I have to watch that this week, and then we're going to record a Patreon episode with Rick. And I think, Matt, you're going to be in on as well. If there's anybody that wants to get in on this, I think the planned recording is either Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure. I got to get with Matt to find out when exactly he's available.
Oh. Knights of Me.
He's shaking his head. So I'll have a conversation with Matt, and then I'll put it out on Facebook and the socials of when we're doing it. I don't know exactly when we're doing it because this was all literally just came up within an hour of us recording. So let's just put a pin in that. But we're gonna be watching I'm gonna be watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and then we're gonna be recording a Patreon episode. Speaking of our Patreon, we just wrapped up all 3 seasons of The Mandalorian and 1 season of the Book of Boba Fett on our Patreon. All those episodes are now live on our Patreon. Go check those out. There is a plan to do another series coming up. I think we're going to be covering Fallout, but that's not going to be for a little bit. We're probably looking like at least a month or 2 before those episodes start coming out. If not sooner, I don't know. Got to talk to that person.
They're all out right now.
Oh, no. I'm just saying us going in and recording the episodes, because instead of doing, like we did with The Mandalorian, doing 1 episode per episode, we're just going to do 1 episode of the entire series.
I got you.
And Rick says, finally something that I want to listen to. I don't know if he's talking about Fallout or the Monty Python.
Well, definitely the Monty Python. We know that he wants to...
Well, he's going to be on that episode, so that's why.
I'm sure he likes to hear himself talk.
Oh, he said both.
To some degree, we all do.
He said both. So yeah, we'll be covering the Fallout series. But with that, let's wrap up the show because Matt is tired and he's giving me the evil eye the entire episode to hurry up and shut up and move on. So, Matt, I'll let you go first. Your shout out, sir.
Shout out to you guys for recording tonight. Shout out to the listeners and the people in chat tonight for putting up with my bullshit on how tired I am. So thank you.
Don't you apologize for a damn thing, Matt.
It's been a long weekend. They don't deserve the snarky Matt tonight.
Hey, take Monday off.
Not gonna happen. Fuck. What else? I don't know. Shout out to the Channel 3 community. Make sure to go to channel3.gg and register to gamify your social media. Shout out to Narga, who stopped by and is the cutest cat in the world, except for maybe some of Alex's cats. And
What about my
And shout out to my wife V. Thank you for everything you do on and off the show.
Matt,
I'm done.
Matt, there's one more person in the house you got to shout out to.
Adida.
No, not.
Zelda, she's pain in my butt today.
But she was on camera and you love Zelda.
I do love Zelda.
I thought you were talking about Athena. Who's surprised?
Athena's my dog, you joker.
I thought, well, he mentioned your cat, so I figured maybe you wanted him to mention your dog, who's been surprisingly quiet this episode.
I would like him to mention his own dog.
Okay. Alex, your shout out, sir.
Tricky, it's nice to see that not smoking cigarettes is going really well for you.
Yeah,
As you sit there smoking a cigarette.
If you haven't noticed, I've been vaping a lot this episode too.
Oh, good. You're vaping and smoking, so it's double your pleasure, double your fun.
Double your fun.
Okay, well, I did ask you to do your shout-outs, Alex, but just so everybody knows, I'm having another dental issue. Right here is all swollen, and I was just stressing out and went back to cigarettes. So
I know, but cigarettes cannot help the dental issues.
I know, but it's a mental thing. I relapsed. I'm gonna get back on it once I have my root canal.
All right. Well, hoping for the best for you, Tricky. Shout out to our awesome community, the Fuel to the Fire, this trip yours. I don't remember everyone that was in chat, so I don't want to name one person, not everyone, but thank you for everyone who was in chat tonight. Appreciate you all. However, anyone listens to the show, whether you tell your friends about it, whatever you do, thank you for supporting us as we head towards 618 and beyond. Shout out to the guys, Tricky, Matt, and Yield. And a shout out to my awesome and loving girlfriend, Ashley. I love you, hun. And yeah, that is going to be it for me.
Yield, your shout out, sir.
Shout out to Matt, Alex, Tricky for recording tonight. Shout out to Nitro, Rick, V, Ro, Roboto, and anybody else in chat that I forgot to mention. Shout out to everybody, all the pimps and madams of the whoredom for hanging out with us, making Tricky watch one of the funniest movies of all time, and he'll sit there and crap all over it. And that'll do me. Peace out.
Yeah, something tells me Tricky may not be
Tricky
too
will
high,
not
too high on the too high on the style of humor.
No. The Knights of Knee.
Yeah, the
The Black Knight.
the coconut horse.
Rabbit.
Who directed Monty Python?
Oh, I believe it was Tim Burton. I don't know, Tricky. I don't know.
I can't think of the guy's name.
It's not Mel Brooks, right?
No. It's not Mel Brooks.
Okay. So I was gonna say I do like Mel Brooks movies. I like Spaceballs. Terry Gilliam.
This is not Spaceballs.
No, this is not.
This is not the same style of humor as Spaceballs, Tricky.
No. But it's really good. It's really good humor.
Apparently, they're scared of a rabbit and run from a cave. That's all I really know.
I cannot wait for Tricky to watch this movie and be like, I don't get it.
The holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Stop spoiling it for me. I want him to experience all of this
Rick,
as it is intended.
Rick actually watched me watch this movie on Twitch for a live reaction.
He should watch it live. That way he can sit there and just badmouth it, and it would be for real. We could all just ridicule him afterwards.
But I can't put it on Twitch because the stream would get banned. So I had to.
But don't play the sound. Don't show the image or the video. Just have you reacting as it goes along.
Rick wants me to do that, and I'll probably do that. All right. So Rick also wants to know, how's Harley doing? Harley is doing great. She's finally housebroken. So she hasn't had an accident in a week. So this is. What am I holding on for?
There he goes. He's back.
No. I was here. I thought Matt said hold on.
He said well done. He was applauding at Harley for being housebroken.
I thought he said hold on.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. So she's finally housebroken. So that's good. Still gotta get that puppy energy out though, because she runs around my house knocking everything over. But thanks to everybody in the chat. Rick, I will try my best to enjoy Mighty Python. I'll probably watch it the next day or so. And yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks to you guys for showing up. And if there's nothing else, until next week, happy trophy hunting.
See ya.
Later.
Sleep.
Brains.
The theme song is Venus by the band Even off their album Zenith. Permission granted by the band and 12 Stone Records. You can find them on Facebook by going to www.facebook.com/evenphilippines.